we noticed that when we came up here, that the water was snapping and popping.
It's mostly around where
the light where you can really see it where the light's reflecting. Wow, it's really snapping and popping.
Sparkles centered on the light.
That would be your chemtrail technology in the water. Can you imagine? Anyway, so we're definitely going to be walking up here. I have been so excited about coming here.
Next clue is we are by a canal, and in front of us is a river. And the canal doesn't join the river.
Yeah, I figured that one out. The canal does not join the river. It doesn't touch the river. So can you imagine what we're talking about? No, probably not. And if you can, you're well ahead of the game. How can a canal not touch a river? How is that possible? Here we go, here it is. What do you think that is in front of us? Should I spill the beans, or shall I spill the beans when I take a picture? Oh my gosh, we're looking at old Antiquitech. Here is the canal, which at one point wasn't used as a canal, but for prime water. This is how they transferred prime water around the entire realm, and this one is still up and running, except the water's not prime water anymore.
So they call that the canal bridge, but it is an aqueduct. They just don't want, I think they don't want people to make the connection.
This is an old Antiquitech aqueduct still up and running. I was stunned when I saw this when we were looking for places to go, and I feel like we have just found a huge treasure. There is the river. Here is the river.
It's further.
And down here too.
This is a branch.
This is a branch of the river, and then over here, it's huge. Old aqueduct. Yes, this is what they used to look like, the aqueducts. So here they are. Old aqueduct. Can you believe it? Water running over the river.
You have some kind of a dragon or griffin?
Yep, I think it's a griffin. This is a griffin because it's got wings.
It looks like some kind of tiger or lion.
Yep. So I can hardly see the screen on here, so you might have to film a bit if you get a chance. And then we're going to walk down the aqueduct. I am just so thrilled to be here today. Thrilled. Walking on an aqueduct.
It's the first view that people will get of you.
Yeah. Just think the entire realm used to be filled with these aqueducts. So you see these bridges, and then people are like, well, something must have been up there. Yeah, aqueducts just like this. Just like this. All of those bridges, the majority of them, were aqueducts carrying the prime water.
It's easy to see how you can just drain it and put a road in the middle.
Yeah, you could absolutely drain this and put a road in the middle and call it a bridge. That would be running up here. And this prime water is what gave energy to the entire realm. They had aqueducts absolutely everywhere in this realm. And I don't just mean in France, I mean the entire snow globe. Absolutely gorgeous. Ah.
I have never heard of this place before.
No, no. And you live in France, and isn't that something? It's like a little tourist attraction, but it's on the down low. And I'm here to expose the first aqueduct that's up and running. And here it is. Here it is. And it is on top of a bridge that looks like any other bridge that you come across in Antiquitech bridges anyway. You can see it down here. And we're just gonna finish walking it because it's so gorgeous. You know, this might also be a reason that the energy is so high here, because between the material that this bridge is made out of, the water that's running in a cross section of the river is creating massive, massive negative ions. And I'm probably sure that's why, no matter how much they try to chemtrail, it's not staying. And if you look all the way around us, the clouds are around, but they're not over us. It's this aqueduct. It's preventing the chemtrailing. I never talked about how the aqueducts, some of them came into advance, like the waterfalls, coming from under the ground. Basically the prime water filling all of this. This would have all been filled with prime water under the ground. And I mean, we've got a huge...
This might still be prime water, but it's tainted, it's polluted.
No, this is polluted. Polluted because of the reality we're in. And so just know that all of your aqueducts were coming from underground seas, or a huge sea underneath of us. There is a huge freshwater sea underneath of us, and this is where all of the prime water is coming from. So I was talking to someone the other day, and they were saying, what's the difference between a well and prime water? And I said, a well is an aquifer, and it can dry up, and it's slowly filling up, which is why it can dry up. Where prime water is an underground river, and it has branches and branches into little springs, all coming from the ocean of fresh water beneath us. Pure, blue, unadulterated, fresh, energized water. Very drinkable. And of course, we've been so diminished in our water, that's why our avatars age quickly also, because the life is the water when you're comprised of such a high amount of it. All obelisks work like telephone poles. So they would energize, energy from the ether will come down into every single obelisk. And of course on top is a point so you could direct the energy down into. There's probably copper inside of that obelisk pulling it down. And I'm sure it was meant to help energize the water. So I'm gonna stand here, I'm gonna pan, I'm gonna look back down in. It's quite long. It's quite long. Go over here.
It goes further than just the river because it has to be level.
Yep. Look at that wall. Look at the old wall here. Going to the aqueduct. And there's the old wall. And that was for overflow on the river itself. Now we're gonna...
Some pine cones on these little bollards.
Yeah. So we'll look at this. Just a boat sticking out of it. Looks like a Viking boat. Does it not look like a Viking boat? It's like a Viking boat. So, and then we have this. Of course, they're always talking about it. Here's the pillars going out. So we're standing on the side of the aqueduct, and I thought this was just typical. I've seen this before, where I've seen this in America, where the bottom pillars are left, and always wondering what was going across it. So even across America, we have some of this stuff, remnants of the bottom pillar parts going across, like the Chesapeake Bay, different areas, and it was for aqueducts. All of it was for aqueducts. Interesting.
That's the stuff they bombed in priority during their wars.
All the wars, the main objective was to eradicate and erase our antiquitech, what our reality was. That's why today, instead of beautiful buildings with individual styles and just glorious, like eye candy, to see all of the personal expression put onto the architecture, everything is now cubistic, brutalism art, which is square boxes. And the excuses of, well, they don't have money for all the nice stuff. Really? They have money for chemtrailing every single day in the entire snow globe, but they don't have money for our artisan buildings.
And we thought that we had it the best right now compared to everybody, Middle Ages and stuff.
No.
Apparently we're supposed to be the richest that we've ever been.
Yeah. No, we're the poorest we've ever been. We're living in a box. So when I was going over here, I realized that half of the ships were missing coming out of this. They've got the front half of the ship, and I'm going to add this. They all look like Viking ships. Tell me this doesn't look like a Viking ship. It's even got the oars stuck out of it. So yeah, the other half of the ship should be behind, just like this is a part of the ship here. And there's the front part of the ship. Again, looks like Viking ships. Make sure I get this all, because I can't always see the screen on there.
Yeah, it's wide angle. It catches
right
it all.
here you can see the oars coming out. This is a Viking ship. Look at this. Old Viking ship. It's definitely a phoenix. It's a lion's head. It's like a cross between a lion and a dragon and a bird. So, yep, the other half of this is completely missing. It would have been here, and instead they put an anchor here. That's not right. Get a feeling that that's not right. So, as we're walking down, going to the other side of the aqueduct, we have to walk under to go over, because that is the top of the aqueduct with the water in it. So we'll have to walk through in order to get to the other side. There's no bridge over top of it. So here we go.
They have massive gates to block the water in case of need.
Yep. So here's the gates. In case the water ever was overflowing, here's another gate I'm standing next to block the water. And this is the aqueduct above us. And the gate again, here. Look at the side of it. Here's the side of the aqueduct. There's the massive gate. There's Arthur.
It does have these features on the side.
Okay, we just walked up. It was easier to walk up, so this is a better view too.
Sure.
Then you can see that this is still a part of the aqueduct. I'm going to walk over here and show you what we just walked under.
I was saying that the projector isn't burning here.
No, it's not as bad here. Nowhere near as bad.
You feel like you want to avoid the sun, want some shade, but no, we've been in the sun and no problem.
So this is what we just walked under. The road, the aqueduct. Here it is. So cool. Let's walk back over to the bridge. So I was talking to Arthur, and I keep telling him how good this place is making me feel. And I said, oh my gosh, the town felt good, but this place feels fantastic. I'm wondering if I couldn't just stay here and stand on this bridge and let my DNA activate. Because I surely love the vibration this place feels. You can feel it through your bones. You can feel it through your body.
If you're sensitive enough.
Yeah.
Unlike me.
Arthur says he can't feel much, but then he says that about everything. I can feel everything, so wow, I can feel as soon as we stepped off the train, I felt the frequency was so different. I'm like, oh my gosh, this place. It was something. I might just hang out here at this aqueduct for a while and see what it does to me. Did you see this lock over here, Arthur? I didn't see this on the other side. There it is, there's the lock. So we were just over there. Now we're on this side.